so let me get straight to it. So me and my middle sister always had a rocky relationship because my middle sister, we always bump heads because my middle sister feels how she feel about certain things and I feel about how I feel about certain things. And I'm the type of person, when you wrong, you wrong. When you need to take accountability, you need to take accountability. You need to stand up on what's right. And I'm not, and she's all about, to me, from my perspective, she's all about seeking attention. And, you know, she's all about, she got a nasty mouth. She say what she wants. She treat people any way, type of way. You know, she's like the middle child. So with that being said, it caused us to go back and forth through the years with us arguing all the time about stuff. And it don't be about like petty stuff, because I know that my baby sister made a comment about like, y'all always arguing, like this is what y'all do, this is what y'all do, but nobody understands the context of what we're actually arguing about. Like, it's me sitting here standing up for you as my baby sister. It's me standing up for my dad. It's me standing up for my mom. It's me standing up for myself, because my sister, my middle sister, got a very nasty mouth. Like,
Yo, I actually know somebody who don't get along with it. It always be crazy to me how people like grow up together, man, and they can't get along. I'm like, damn, y'all can't get along, you know. But you know, I do got a friend, and she do not get along with her sister. She's actually about to move back in with her mom, and her sister, her older sister, already lives there, and she about to move in, and they are not about to speak. Like, they don't speak at all. They don't talk. They don't communicate at all. They literally just don't get along. The mama be around there talking like, why you don't get along with your sister? Da, da, da. Like, and I just find that so wild, because it's like, damn, baby, we all grew up together. Like, what's going on with y'all? You feel me? Like, I can't imagine growing up with my brother, even though me and my brother is 10 years apart. I can't imagine not talking to him. Like, living in the same house and not talking to them. You know what I'm saying? So I know people do be having issues and stuff with they siblings like that, but I just always found it wow, because I'm like, damn, y'all grew up together, y'all both came out the same coochie, everything. Like, what's going on with y'all?
she's very disrespectful. She just treats anybody how, you know, they want. She's one of these people that you would never meet twice in this lifetime again, because that's just how nasty and disrespectful and ignorant that she is. And I'm not saying this to put her down, but this is definitely the truth. Like, I'll explain what I mean. Like, for example, because before I get into what happened like 2.5 years ago, I need y'all to understand, like, give you a little bit of context. Like I said, our relationship was rocky, and we will always argue about things. And the type of things that we will argue about, like one time I remember my sister, we was going to church as teenagers or whatever. We was going to church, and I remember she used to always get up and have testimonies and like basically be up in front of the church telling our family business and stuff like that. And me, that I used to be so embarrassed and so humiliated, because it's like, why are you getting up telling our family business in front of people that at the end of the day ain't going to do nothing for us? Like, you basically giving them juice. Like, they ain't, you know, they ain't going to make the situation better. You just basically letting people in. So and at that time, yeah, I do understand that, you know, it was a situation where my mom left or whatever. My mom and dad split up. They wasn't together. We ended up living with our dad. My dad was an alcoholic, so it came with some, you know, frustrating moments. It came with some, you know, things that alcoholics do. So my sister, I feel like she blew things out of proportion, especially with this one. One day she decided that she was going to go to the pastor's office and make it seem like we were losing our house. My dad was going into foreclosure, losing the house, and she like made a big deal about her and my baby sister being homeless, this, that, and the third. Long story short, she decided that she was going to literally move out the house. I think at this point she was like 16, because I was like 18. So I think she was like 16 or 17, one of them. I think she was like 17. No, I think it was 17. Either way, it don't matter. I think she was like 17 or whatever. And my sister, I kind of forget the ages or whatever. I just know that they both were still in school. they were minors. And so my middle sister decided that she was going to pack her stuff up and make my baby sister pack up her stuff to go live with somebody at their church. And basically, that's what she did. So when she sat over there and did that, me being the big sister, me being the oldest, is like, why would you do that? Like, why would you do that? So that's like one situation that caused us to go back and forth, go back and forth, because she's basically slandering my dad's name, slandering my mom, and just feeling like where our household is just so this and that. And it wasn't even to that extreme. Yeah, it was a little hostile, but it wasn't to the extreme that she was talking to the point where she literally thought it was a good idea to basically pack her stuff up with my baby sister, and they just move out the house when my dad wasn't even there. And then somehow, some way, later on down the line, children and youth got involved in all that. And basically, my mom and dad, I think, had to sign like temporary rights over to some lady that they went to church with or something like that, because of the extent that my middle sister took this. And it didn't even have to go that far. So that's like one thing. So me and her going at it about that. It was another time she sat over there and like married this guy that was a Jamaican. He didn't have a green card. He was not a citizen of the United States or whatever. So because of that, like my sister, basically she went off and she married him. Like she just felt like she felt love that she didn't get from the family or whatever. So she basically cut us off.
Damn, my boy Jamaican, the Jamaican, he done used her to goddamn get the green card and broke up with her, didn't he?
Treated us a certain way, and it's like, how dare you sit here and treat us a certain way for somebody you don't know? Like, she just up and married, didn't let nobody know or anything like that. So me being the sister that I am, like, yo, that's wrong. I'm going to say what I need to say. Now I'm gonna be honest with y'all. My delivery back then I had a mouth. If I felt like I had something to say, I'm going to say it. My delivery was not always the best. My tone was not always the best. I always spoke with passion, but I've always spoke out of love. I always spoke because I care. I actually give a F. You know what I'm saying? Like, I care about your well-being. You sitting here just marrying people, just, and cutting the family off, making it seem like, we're just such bad people. Like, you're not going to sit here and do us like that. Like, all because you feel how you feel about certain things. So, of course, me and her arguing about that. And then, of course, through her relationship being with him, like, we will argue with things about her during her relationship or marriage with this man that she was with. Me and her will always argue about stuff because of the way she treated us as a family being with him. But leave it to my baby sister, we just be arguing all the time, bumping heads, going back and forth. But it's me actually standing up to her, having a backbone that her and my mom never really had with my middle sister. So let's just be honest and call it what it is. So, and during her, I remember there was a time when she was with this man. My middle sister was with the Jamaican. There was a time she got mad at me, or got mad at the family because they fell on hard times. She had to do all the work, and she had a baby by him. And because he could not provide milk for the baby, or whatever the case was, she felt like we should have basically stepped up and, wherever he fell short in, they both felt like she got family needs to step in and help out because we're family at the end of the day. And my attitude is like, no, you're with this man, you have a baby by him, it's his responsibility to sit here and go work or go find work to provide for you and that baby. That is not my responsibility when I got my own family to worry about and I got my own issues to worry about. And that is not my baby sister's responsibility when she is in school trying to get an education, get her degree to become what she wanted to be. And that is definitely not my mom and dad's responsibility when you done made a decision to marry this man that couldn't do nothing for you from the get-go. So
Yeah, I agree with her.
Because of that, we had lots of arguments. So what I'm gonna do is fast forward to about 2 years ago. No, 2.5, because it was like 6 months prior to 2 years ago on like what happened. So before I actually move forward, let me just get into during this whole time, me and my sisters are now in our 30s. But during this whole time, my mom is aware of my mom is actually aware of, my sister's the situation that's going on, and so is my baby sister. Me and my mom had many talks because after a lot of our arguments that me and my middle sister would have like through the years, I will always ask, like, because sometimes I used to leave our situations like, hold on, am I in a like twilight zone? Like, am I like, I mean, am I really wrong here for sitting here saying this or saying that? Like, I mean, did I do something wrong? Because like I used to be really so confused on the situation, like, or the arguments that we have. Like, I would be like, is this really happening? Like, did I say something wrong? Like, so I will always ask my mom, like, did I say anything wrong? Like, could I have handled the situation better? Like, was it anything, I will always ask my mom that. And the same thing with my baby sister. Because mind you, at this time, me and my mom was very close. Me and my baby sister was very close. So I would especially go to my baby sister like, yo, like, did I say anything wrong? Like, hey, Cash, stop. All right. I'm like, did I say anything wrong? Like, that could have made my sister possibly flip, like, for us to even have to argue about something like that. So the reason why I sat over there and say that is to say that my mom and baby sister already know the situation. Like, my middle sister carries this victim mentality and she does a whole lot of projection. It's always somebody else's fault on why did things go wrong in her life. It's never none of her choices or anything that she do. It's always something. And if something is her choice, is due to because of childhood, of how something happened in childhood. My dad was like this to her, my mom was like this to her, so she grew up like this, and everything is always somebody else's fault. And when you sit here and call her out on her wrongdoing, it's like she feels like she's always being attacked for everything. Even
I can't stand people like that though. I really can't. Like, they just can't take accountability for a motherfucking thing. Like, literally, like,
the littlest things to the biggest things. She always feel like if you say anything about it, you're always judging. So she goes off. Like, when I say she crashes out and makes a big deal about stuff, I'm gonna give you an example of something small that she made a big deal out of that didn't even have to go that way. But yeah, and my mom know this, and my mom never says anything. My mom just lets it ride. My mom would know that I be right because I'm the type of person, I speak with logic. And that's the reason. Oh, another thing I forgot to say is that's why me and my middle sister bump heads, is because I speak with logic. I'm a solution-based person. I don't give no pity party with stuff. It's a solution for everything. I'm not with the excuses. I'm not with the blaming. I'm not with none of that. I'm very logic when I speak, and I make sense with the things that I speak about, and she can't get with that. She can't get with me mentally. So that's why we crash out and bump heads. I completely forgot about that part in my last video. My mom knows this. My mama know I'm be right. My baby sister know I be right. And they don't say a word. My baby sister has the attitude like, look, that's on her. I'm not going to deal with her. And my baby sister don't deal with her. And that's fine and dandy.
that's a good way of doing it too. Shit, hey, I ain't worried about what the fuck she talking about. Her baby sister like shit. I ain't worried about nothing she talking about, basically.
And my mom just like, well, that's her. Nobody says nothing to my middle sister. So my middle sister could say whatever she wants. She basically gets away with murder. So yeah, so it is going to look like Felicia is the bad guy because Felicia's the only one speaking out. So fast forward to the little example. So now me and my sisters, we are all in our 30s, right? we decide we turning over a new leaf. Like, we just, we're me and my middle sister, like, we got to do better with
It's
our relationship.
time
We
to
got to
get
grow up a little
along.
bit. So that's the
Yes.
type of time that I was on. And during this time, like, me and my middle sister, like, at this time, I'm all about multiple streams of income, diversifying my income, investing, and all this type of stuff. So anything that I'm learning, I'm sitting here trying to put my baby sister on. I'm trying to put my middle sister on. Like, my whole attitude was like, if I win, we all win together. We can sit here and take care of our mom. Like, my mom don't have to worry about nothing. She don't have to want for nothing. My middle sister got 5 kids. Her kids would be straight. My baby sister got 2 kids. Her 2 kids would be straight. So this is the type of time I was on, like, where, trying to bring the family with you. You trying to bring the family, trying to educate, trying to have family meetings and all that. None of it never worked out. So there was this one time where me and my middle sister was getting along right before she asked to move in with me, and I agreed. So let me just back it up for the example that I said that I would give y'all, where she kind of crashed out and I didn't even know where she was coming from with it. So basically, me and my sister, like I said, I was on that multiple streams of income, having business, and telling her, like, me meeting people, being around people, kind of networking, doing my thing or whatever. So my middle sister was like, well, her and her boo out here meeting people, doing a thing, like, her boo is best friends with somebody that's a millionaire. So I'm like, oh, really? Oh, like, so what he do? And so she telling me all about his business that, I still to this day don't even understand what he do. But hey, that's neither here or there. But, so I just let my sister have it because I know how she is with the lies and stuff like that. So, you just tend to accept people for who they are, right? So that's me. I'm going to accept you for who you are. If you feel the need to want to lie about it, hey, that's on you. They ain't got nothing to do with me. But I'm going to listen because you're my sister. And, for whatever. So I don't really care at the end of the day. It ain't got nothing to do with me. So whatever. So she's sitting here telling me about how this guy is a millionaire. Like, he got business. He be doing this. He be doing that. And I'm just listening or whatever. And then so she like, oh, and then so she was like, you want to see a picture of him? Like, and so mind you, we are both on his Instagram, right? So she sends me his Instagram and I'm looking. I'm not going to even lie. And this is no shade to the homeboy or whatever, but this is my honest opinion. He was wearing one of the pictures I saw, he was wearing a Versace robe. And, he had like a Jerry curl, like Jerry curls or whatever. It gave that look, the Jerry curl look with the Versace robe, or, and he, was flexing, like, how the guys be flexing with that. But it looked like a whole trap house was behind him. So, and I'm just like flipping through his Instagram. And I'm like, no way is he getting money. He broke. I don't even know if that Versace robe that he got on is even real at this point. Because I'm looking like nothing gives. I got money. I got my mindset right. I'm all about, he imposes like this. Like he's some type of gangster. Like, I mean, that's not how people with money really carry themselves. Like, they ain't like with the posing with the little gang signs and all that.
Wait, this my W's though. This ain't gay. This for we still hustle daily. I don't do my W's like this. I do it like this. Okay? So that's his business. He throwing up his brand. I'm gonna give my boy a pass. He was throwing up his brand. There ain't no gang signs. This is not a gang sign, people. These are W's. Okay, don't you ever get this shit confused. I'm from Chicago, but I do not fuck with the gangs at all. Fuck a gang. All right.
He doing so anyway. Fast forward. I told my sister, yo, like this dude, he's not who he say he is. He don't got money like that. There's no way he's a millionaire. And, this is just how I am. Like, sometimes I tend to, speak before I think or whatever.
Yo, she strolling. Nah. This nigga, nah. Hell no.
So I'm just like, ain't no way this guy's a millionaire. He don't got it like that. Nah, he lying to you. He lying to you, sis. Now, mind you, my sister agreed with me, y'all. My sister was like, yeah, you know what? I think you're right, sister. I think you're right. But so I guess she sat over there and decided to tell her boyfriend at the time about what we talked about. And I guess he like felt some type of way, like your sister's always judging this, that, and the third. Your sister always got something to say. And basically my sister felt like she took his side and was like, yeah, she always got something to say. And then, now she coming at me. You're always judging me. You're judging us. You think because you got this, that, and it.
No, I'm not even judging you. I'm judging the nigga who throwing up the gang signs on the motherfucking Instagram. What is you talking about, sister? See, I don't like people like that. Don't be just taking up for your nigga, you know what I'm saying? Taking up, you know what I'm saying? Taking up for your, yo, you got your nigga that done turned on me and shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Because when that nigga break up with your stupid ass, then you gonna be trying to move over here to my house with your motherfucking 5 kids. You feel what I'm saying? I'm the motherfucker that's always gonna have your back. We don't know if this nigga gonna have your back for too long. You see what I'm saying? But it sound like she said her boyfriend. So it's like, obviously she done got a divorce. You see what I'm saying? From the Jamaican nigga. Man, what the fuck wrong with you? Family first, people. Y'all know the motherfucking Lil Durk shit. What is Lil Durk shit? OTF. OTF. Only the family. That's what it is.
Third and this, that, and the third. You think because she swear every time we get into an argument is always, you think you better because you got the house, you got the white picket fence, you got the dog, you got this. You think you all that because you just got a business. You supposed to be.
Jealousy.
I'm hearing that every time we argue. So this ain't no different other than the fact that this is why she don't want to be bothered with me now. So we get into it and but we end up making up a few months after that, because this is the part where we're trying to turn over a new leaf or whatever. Like I said, we're still trying to do that. And at this point, my baby sister is 31. My middle sister is 33. So before I move on, let me talk about where I'm at in my journey during this time. So during this time, me and my husband was separated. So, it was, how it is when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, okay? Like, you got to start putting yourself first. You got to know your worth and all that. So this is the type of time I was on. Like, I ain't with some of that stuff. Matter of fact, half of that stuff no more, right? So, you know how it is, right? So, during that, so now here I am, I'm just like feeling myself, loving myself. Like, I'm just like rediscovering different parts of myself. I'm living in our home. We live in a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom home, basement, attic, nice size. Okay, to me, I'm living it up. I got my little savings and, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do and all this. And me and my sisters, we are finally at a point where we are all getting along all at once. We FaceTime and this, that, and the third. So, I'm hyped. I'm like, my family, we coming together. We growing up. So when I say like I was so hyped, y'all, I was so hyped, right? So, but my boundaries wasn't all the way tightened. There were certain things that wasn't all the way tightened. And as much as I was close with my mom, as much as I was close with my baby sister, during this time, I was definitely seeing stuff that I was avoiding because these are my people. I love them. It doesn't matter. I love them, right? So, anyway, so we'll get to them. Right now, we on the middle sister. So, now... So, like I said, me and my sisters, we just now at a point where we're finally getting along. So, my middle sister is living in Georgia while we in Pennsylvania, right? So, my middle sister called us this one day and was just like, she ready to come home. Like, she can't do it no more. Like, you know how it is when you in a relationship. Like, we know every girl been through it where you can't do it no more. You're tired, this, that, and the third. And, I was cool with that, and the thing about it is I was cool with that for the simple fact because to me I looked at it as this was an opportunity for me and my sister to like really start over a new leaf and like
to get
really
closer. Okay,
get it together.
Y'all in y'all 30s now. Let's get closer.
Because when we were teenagers, things wasn't always bad. Like there were moments where we were like this. We were like Bonnie and Clyde, like before anybody, like before any best friend, before, well, I had, a few best friends back then, but at the end of the day, wasn't nobody coming before my sister. As a matter of fact, wasn't nobody coming before none of my sisters, okay? Because my sisters, they were my babies. I'm an older sister. They my babies. Like, to me, we've been through some storms together. We witnessed certain things together. When we didn't have nobody, all we had was each other. So these, to me, like, I took that serious. These are my sisters for life. You hear what I'm saying? God, I was that type of sister. And anyway, that don't even matter. I'm that type of sister. So my sister called and was like, she want to come back to Pennsylvania because she can't, she don't want to stay in Georgia no more. Like, how she's being treated is just not fit for her. So this is the situation. So because of that, I'm like, cool, you can live with me. you know you can live with me. And mind you, I don't have no kids, so I am welcoming my sister and her 4 kids. And at the time, she has 4 kids that are 4 years old and under. At this time, I believe, yeah, they were like 4 years old. No, I believe so. I think the twin girls was like 5 years old. But either way, it was 4 kids that's 5 years old and under. 2 twin set of girls that was 5 years old. A boy. No, I believe the twins was 4. I believe it. So here we go with the ages, y'all. I don't know. I can't get it right. But either way, it was 4 kids, I believe, under 4 years old.
Yo, shout out to her. Ain't no kids moving on over here. I ain't got no kids either. Ain't no fucking kids coming over here. Period.
2 twins that was 4, a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old. That I was actually willing to welcome in my home. And mind you, I don't have no kids. It's just me in this home by myself. But I was still talking to my husband during that time. So I had asked him to, the spare bedroom that I have, I was going to give that to my sister. And, so that it's not so squishy here. She didn't feel squishy or whatever. I already had my bedroom, and I already have a bathroom in my bedroom. So then the other second bathroom, I was just going to give that to my middle sister. And then if I had to move my office into my bedroom to give her twins their own bedroom, I was willing to do that. And then she would have her, and the 2 younger ones would have the other bedroom, so that everybody could just maneuver around the house and have space without feeling like everybody squished up, because there's enough room for everybody and some. Okay. So yeah, so I say that to say, so me, my mom, and my baby sister, we was ecstatic for my middle sister to come home, right? So I'm saying, yeah, she can move in with me. Like, and this was a time where I'm not the type of person that express myself, like my heartfelt feelings, because I'm just, I struggle with being vulnerable in that type of way, like saying like expressing my heartfelt feelings. But my sister had me on this. Like, I was sitting here one time, I remember me and my sister, we was having a conversation, and I've done something to my sister that hurt her feelings so bad. Like, what I did was, she told me something incompetent that was between me and her, and then I told my baby sister, and then and my baby sister did what she did with the information, or whatever. So it turned into a whisper down the lane type of thing, and it was basically me. It wasn't my place to say anything to begin with. And that hurted my sister, because my middle sister, trusted me with that information. And although I sat over there and apologized to her several times and took accountability, like, look, I was very wrong. I was effed up. Like, I felt so bad, y'all. Like, I took accountability. So in this conversation, me and my middle sister had a heart-to-heart conversation, and I'm like, yo, even though I apologize, but I need you to know, like, I'm really, really sorry for sitting here doing that. Like, I did not mean to break your trust at all, and that's not my intentions. And even though you were wrong, it ain't even about you being wrong for what you told me or whatever. It's about, now we're going to make it about me. It's my actions, that no matter how wrong you were in that situation, it was still not my place to sit here and tell nobody what you told me in confidence. So I was on that type of time. And then I'm just like, I want our relationship to work. Like, I love you so much. You're my sister. Like, before it was anybody else, it was us against the world. Like, me and my sisters, they were like my babies. So it's just like, I felt like we've been through some things together. We, saw some things. So at the end of the day, like, nobody came before me and my sisters. And I looked at this as an opportunity for me and my sister to actually grow together and love on one another, get to know each other, this, that, and the third. So, and I'm apologizing. We were both having a heartfelt conversation, like, with each other. And it's just like, and I'm just like, you can come live with me. You can stay with me as long as you need to. Don't worry about paying no rent. Like, I'll help you with whatever it is that you need help with. And so, and then this is the thing. So I sat over there and was going to allow her to live with me rent free. She ain't have to worry about paying no rent. She ain't have to worry about paying anything. Like, cause she basically was starting from scratch. So you could come live with me, and don't worry about paying no rent. Don't worry about paying anything. Me and my baby sister was going to switch cars so that me and my baby sister was going to switch cars so that my sister and her 4 kids would have transportation to get to anywhere that they need to go without any hassle, because my sister got the truck. I had a car. So me and my baby sister was going to switch cars so that my middle sister could have transportation and do what she do.
Teamwork,
And
make the
we was
dream
gonna
work.
switch cars as long as, until my middle sister get up on her feet. My mom was going to give some of her food stamps up or whatever per month, a portion, so that I ain't have to pay for all the food. Like, pretty much my sister was going to come down here and not have to worry about nothing. No Pampers, no diapers, no clothes. Like, my baby sister had clothes for her kids. For her kids. My baby sister had clothes for her kids. I sat over there and had clothes for. Whoa, I got to back up for just a quick second. So during our conversation, not only was I being vulnerable with expressing myself for the love that I have for her and me wanting to have her best interest, but because I know that she has a victim mentality, I don't want her to always feel like, at that time, I never wanted her to feel like the things that I say is an actual attack. I actually wanted her to try to see things from my point of view as being a solution based, and me just being logic about the situation versus it being me judging her or attacking her. So in that conversation, when we was having heart to heart, like, I was telling her, like, look, I need you to understand that you are my sister, and then I love you. And I'm not judging you. So I'm going to need you to stop thinking that every time I tell you something, I am not judging you. Like, and I told her that at the end of the day, I am the least person that could judge anybody, because I went through some things, and had to learn through my own stuff. So who am I to be judging you for your choices when I made choices myself that wasn't the best either? That's just what we got. We got to be honest about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't made choices that was always the best, and I had to learn from my own lessons, and I done put myself in situations I had no business putting myself in. So therefore, I have no reason to judge you, sister. So this is how I would talk to her. Like, this ain't, I need you to stop thinking that everything that I say is attack. This is me truly having your best interest, because just as well as you've been around the block and some, I've been around the block and some. You know what I'm saying? I'm just the older sister, you the middle sister. So these are things that we could pass on down to our baby sister, because between my middle sister and I, we have some lessons that we could definitely pass on down to my baby sister, so that she ain't even have to go down a road or learn certain things. But we'll get to that too, because yeah, that's another story. We'll get to that too. Um, So the part that I left off was where I agreed to my sister basically moving in, and I pretty much asked my husband to basically help me clean out the room and basically get my house set up for my sister to move in. And I'm not gonna lie, he wasn't thrilled about it because, you know, he's trying to come back, but I was on some type of time. No, like my sister, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, I was my sister. So, anyway, and the thing about it is, I feel like, just on a side note, I feel like, this would have been an opportunity that I feel like any woman with kids would have appreciated this opportunity that was given to them, especially having to start from scratch and having to get themselves, um, start all over. I don't know how in the world my middle sister blew this opportunity, but she did, y'all. So this is what happened. So like I said in my last video where I left off, I agreed to allow my sister to move in with me, and I was so excited and I was so hyped for her to move in with me. I was willing to let her stay here as long as she needed to stay here. I was willing to, help her with anything that it is that she wanted to, needed help with. I was okay with watching her kids whenever she needed her kids to be watched if I was available. I understood that she wanted to work an overnight job, call center job or whatever, while the kids asleep. And then, during the day, I know she was interested in writing a book and all that type of stuff. So, I was like, well, you can, make digital products. Like I said, I have an entrepreneurial mindset. So I was on the multiple streams. So don't ever settle for one thing. You could do it all. You know what I'm saying? You have the support. You can do it all. Don't subject yourself to just doing one thing. So that's why moving with me was a good choice, and my mom loved that. Like, my mom was ecstatic, was excited for that, because my mom done live with me, so my mom already know like what type of time I be on when it comes time to leveling up. So with my mom living with me, my mom lived with me for 2 years, and before she left my house, she told me that when she get her own place, that she wanted to finance, she wanted to be the one to buy all her things without having to ask anybody for a dime. Okay, so because of that, my mom lived with me. What my mom was not living paycheck to paycheck, like none of that. So I helped my mom. When my mom left my house, my mom was able to move into her house and buy everything that she needed for her apartment and some, and not have to depend on absolutely nobody. You hear what I'm saying? So because of that, my mom knew what I did for her and help her, so she was all for it for my middle sister, and just felt like that was the best. Her being with me was the best. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm all about woman empower. Like, you being a strong woman, independent woman, you doing for yourself, you finding yourself, loving yourself. Like I said, I'm on my personal development journey. So anything that I learn, I pass on. I'm not no gatekeeper. So with that being said, so, I was willing to sit here and help my sister out. Not even just that, like, I understood that when my sister came here, because I wanted her to be so confident, I sat here and told her that I was going to buy her a whole new wardrobe of clothes. I gave her a budget of $400 for her to shop at Fashion Nova or wherever she wanted to shop at. Just put it in a cart. I'll pay for it for you, and your clothes will be here waiting for you when you get here. Since my baby sister had clothes for all her kids, my baby sister somehow got all these clothes for all four of her kids. And even if her oldest child, was to come down and visit, he would even have clothes. So, and then, she would, oh, and another thing, my baby sister, because my baby sister knew that she was coming out here, my baby sister at the time was willing to take out money from her 401k, to give my sister a chunk of money so that when she do touch down, she's not flat broke. That she at least have money in her pocket. And when she come down here, she got brand new clothes. All her kids got clothes. They got diapers. They got Pampers. Money. She don't have to worry about money. She don't have to worry about transportation. Me and my baby sister was going to trade cars. Like, my baby sister was going to keep my car while I keep her truck, so that my sister could just, use the truck or whatever to go to wherever she need to go. She has the room for that, so all her kids can fit in the car. My mom was going to give a portion of her food stamps every month to make sure that her and her kids eat on top of, but I think, so that her and her kids can eat and all of that. So basically, my sister coming down here did not have to worry about absolutely nothing. All me and my mom and my baby sister wanted her to do was just get yourself together. My middle sister don't even know that we actually went to Olive Garden to actually have an actual family meeting to talk about what we can do to help our middle sister become better. How can we help her improve in her situation so that she could be successful? That's the type of time that we were on, all three of us. We was willing to do whatever it is to see our middle sister succeed, because we were tired of her being in the situation that she was in. Although she put herself in that situation, but we knew that she could do better. So that's what me, my mom, and my baby sister was willing to do for her, and she messed it up. She blew it. So basically, and how she blew it was, like, when we went out to the meeting, we had everything all set up. Like, everything all set up. My house was set up. My baby sister had clothes. I had clothes here waiting for her. I had a stroller waiting here for her. Like, I had things waiting here for her. But she never came, and she never even told us that she never even told us that she was not even moving with us. She decided to stay with her boyfriend. But with her deciding to stay with her boyfriend, she decided to cut us off. So, correction, is actually not a stroller. I meant to say that it was a crib that turned into a playpen that was actually sent here. But on a side note, I have to let y'all know that I'm a spiritual person, because it's going to make sense. So I'm a person that's spiritual. I do not follow no religion. I'm not subscribed to any of that. Like, I literally do my own thing. I have an ancestor altar. I meditate. I have crystals. I do what I got to do that brings me peace, that keeps me grounded, that regulates my nervous system and all that. Like, this is not a trend for me. This is what I do in real life. This is part of my lifestyle. I make this no secret to my middle sister, my baby sister, or my mom. They already know this, right? So, and also keep this in mind when I actually get to talking about my mother, okay? So, mind you, my sisters, they're not spiritual or anything like that. But apparently, all of a sudden, my middle sister is. So when we gets to talking, now that we're on good terms, we gets to talking, I find out that she's able to talk to the dead. Okay? So where I left off was that she was actually supposed to move in with me, right? So she decided that she's no longer moving in with me, that she's going to stay with her boyfriend. So the reason why, and that's all fine and dandy, even though I was like heartbroken, like I really felt some type of way, but at the same time, like, I know how it is when, you just want to make it work with your man or whatever. But this is the part that had me though. So she told everybody several different reasons. She told my mom a different reason. She told my baby sister a different reason. And she told me a different reason on why she's no longer coming to Pennsylvania to move in with me. So her reason of telling me was that, my dad, who has passed away, came to a dream of hers and basically told her that she should basically stay with her man. I'm going to say it again. She told me that her reason for not coming to Pennsylvania to move to change her life, this, that, and the third, was that my dad basically told her to stick beside her man. Now, I'm not going to even lie to y'all. My dad, when he was living, he did not play about us. And he did not play about a man mistreating us or any of that type of thing. Okay? So, with that being said, in real life, had that been in real life, that would not have been the advice my dad would have ever told her in a million years. Not this lifetime or the next. But if you wanted to just stay with your man, that's all you had to say. Like, you ain't even have to come up with the lie. And then, mind you, I told you she told her reason for staying. She told my baby sister something else different. And then she told my mother something else different. And the thing that came with my mom was she decided that she no longer wanted to deal with us. So, but before it got to that point, so after she told me her dream that my dad came to her to say, basically, stick beside your man, we actually started losing contact out of nowhere. She basically stopped calling. She stopped picking up her calls. Like, she basically kind of went ghost on us. So it's just like, that's confusing because we done spent all this time, talking and, having a whole kumbaya session and, thinking that we're turning over a new leaf. I'm over here excited, happy, everything. But now she's avoiding our calls. She's not moving. And it's like, it's one thing. You don't have to move down here. If you want to stay with your man, that's fine. But we can still continue to talk. Nope, she cut us off, y'all. And the thing that she told, and the reason that she told my mom was that she basically we're judgmental and she don't want nothing to do with us because of us judging her. And it's like, nobody's judging you. So what she's really saying, what she really mean, because nobody was judging her, but what she really mean is that she went back with her boyfriend. She's embarrassed that she told us all that information about how her living situation, what was going on in the household, how her man was treating her, how her man was doing her with the kids, and just, if I was her, I would be embarrassed too to go back to that, to truth be told. But hey, that's not for me to judge because at the end of the day, that's her life, her decision. But because she sat over there and basically exposed everything about how her living situation really was, because mind you, we did not even know how my sister was living for the past years, like being with this man for the past 5 years of being with him. We never even knew what her living situation was because of her just hiding everything, keeping everything to herself and making it seem like life is just so peaches and cream when it's really not. And we knew that it's not. But the one time she did actually expose everything, it's like she just felt some type of way about exposing everything and started projecting like, yeah, y'all are judging me. She don't want to have nothing to do with us. And basically, long story short, she cut us off. And then the thing about her cutting us off, she knew some of the things that we were doing for her, but she didn't even know to the extent that she was going to have it. And to this day, she don't even know the extent of us going to Olive Garden, having a family meeting on what we can do to actually help her change her life around. Before I forget, so the thing that also got me about the situation, for her to just come out and say that we're judgmental and she don't want to deal with that because just saying whatever she say. The thing about it is me and my baby sister didn't even say absolutely nothing to her, so I don't even know where she even got the thought that we was judging her or even came to the decision to even stop talking to us or cutting us off, because we literally did not say one word to her. We just, we was more shocked at the fact of her not actually coming down after all that stuff that she was saying, because, she had stuff sent to the house. We have clothes and stuff here waiting for her. We're actually prepping for her to come. And, like, we're actually prepping. Like, I think at the time my cousin was going to actually drive out to Georgia to go and get her. Everything was kind of like in motion. No, 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 no. Let me take it back. No, my cousin was not going to get her. Did I forget? I was going to, me and my baby sister was actually going to rent a car, rent a van, and actually drive to Georgia to go pick up my sister, my middle sister. Completely forgot about that. We was going to do that. So we were going to do that. But that did not happen. So we had stuff here for her, like her clothes and all that. And when we asked her, like when I asked her, like, okay, so now that you're not coming down here, like I have all these clothes and stuff for you that, my baby sister kind of went out of her way to go get. So I'm like, well, what do you want me to do with the clothes that you have here? And she was like, oh, I don't know. You could just give them away. Give them to the need. Like as if it was nothing. Like just give it to the need. But girl, you are in need. You're one of the ones that's actually in need. So what do you mean? But hey, that's what she said. Like, and she was just like nonchalant with it. Like, basically, she don't need them clothes. Like, y'all do what y'all want with them. Give it to the people in the need. Give it to the shelter, Yeah, that's how she is. Oh, and it gets worse. And then so, and she asked me to send her, even though she sent the crib to my house, she wanted me to send the crib to Georgia. I'm not paying for shipping. I'm not paying for that heavy thing. I'm not even taking it to UPS. I'm not paying for shipping. I'm not paying for UPS. I'm not paying for nothing. Like, you got that thing here. If you want it back, then you send UPS or FedEx here to come pick up your stuff. I'm not going out of my way to sit here and send anything back to you. I'm not about to sit here and do none of that. You couldn't even give me you couldn't even give me the decency to have a proper conversation when you not coming. You just straight cut us off and decided that you did not want to deal with us. And I'm not going to even lie to y'all. Like, I actually was crying about that. That thing had me in tears. This situation had me in tears for the simple fact, like, it's not even her staying. It's just simply how she went about it. She had my mom in tears. Yo, we went to the Cheesecake Factory one time. I mean, y'all, we was so upset. None of us, me, my mom, baby sister, or me, we did not even get a cheesecake, y'all. I never go to. So fast forward. So this whole situation with her supposed to be moving in with me, this happened like around June when she decided that she was going to move with me. So let's fast forward to December. So this is Christmas. This is literally a couple days for Christmas. She called again and decided that she was done with her boyfriend for good. Like, this is it. She's leaving or whatever. So the thing about it is, at this time, we wasn't really talking all like that. I really didn't want to be bothered with her because at this point, I'm just done and over with the shenanigans with her and the back and forth and this, that, and the third. Like, I felt like I put myself out there. I bent over more than backwards and overextended myself way more than I should just for her to, like, I felt like she threw it away, threw me away, threw everything, threw the opportunity away. So, and and it's like, that's not how you treat people. Like, that's not how is, and it's not even what she did, is simply how she went about it. I'm all about the principle of things. It's like, you could have handled that situation much, much better. It could have been a conversation. Like, you didn't even have to sit over here and use my dad. And the thing that also pissed me off about her when we were talking, the thing that really pissed me off about her that made me was like, I'm definitely done with her, is that she, even when we were all talking on FaceTime, like me, my middle sister, and baby sister, and we was talking about childhood, I remember one time we were actually talking, she made a statement about how my dad tried to touch her. And it's like, what? Like, why would you ever tell a lie like that? My mom don't even know to this day that my sister sat over there and tried to accuse my dad of touching her. Like, my dad was never even that type of guy. Not even close. Like, growing up, we wasn't allowed to growing up, we wasn't allowed to, like, go from the bathroom to our bedroom wearing a towel. No, you have to be dressed. You always had to be dressed. You was not allowed to show nothing. We wasn't allowed to play with guys. We wasn't allowed to date them. We wasn't allowed to really deal with strangers. Like, we wasn't, like, my dad didn't play that. My dad had us on lockdown. When I say on lockdown, my dad was super overprotective. He ain't play. Okay? Even when I'm the older sister, when I was that sister that was trying to be, little grown, wanted to taste of the streets and wanted to like talk to little hustlers around the way and all that type of stuff. No, my dad had us on lockdown. Wasn't none of that going down. And the people around our way that know us know, we wasn't out on the street like that. We don't got no reputation out there. My dad didn't play that. You hear what I'm saying? We wasn't even allowed to play with everybody's kids. So for the simple fact that my sister would even say something as like that, like, how dare you? How dare you sit here and accuse our father of doing something like that to you? Or trying to make an attempt to do something like that to you? Don't nobody know about that. Nobody. And after that, I knew my sister lost it. Like, I was like, but she was just so adamant about it. And it's like, you do all this for attention for what? Like, he's not even that type of father. Do you hear what I'm saying? Like, my dad did not play with us. So you think that as overprotective as he was over us, you thought he would really do something like that? Ooh, y'all, just even the thought about it, like, I don't even know. Like, I don't even know. It's like one of those situations. It's like, it's three of us. It's three girls. We have no brothers. It is literally three different personalities, three different perspectives, three different stories. But one thing for certain, two things for sure. If you talk to me and my baby sister, our childhood is going to sound nothing like my middle sister's childhood. You would think my middle sister lived in a whole different type of house. I don't even know. The stuff that she comes up with, I literally don't even know. Like, we all was experiencing and seeing the same thing. But for her perspective, it's like, I don't even know. So for her to sit here and say that, I don't even know where she got that from. And from that point on, she lost all respect for me. So we're going to fast forward to December, right? Because I'm about to wrap her up. I'm just so over it. You know what I'm saying? So we're at a point. So she decides during Christmas, like around Christmas time, that she was, done with her boyfriend. She's trying to come back in her life all over again. And, talk to us and this, that, and the third or whatever. But, like, I was talking to her, but, like, I was not all the way sold at this point. And I was actually not willing to really at this point open up my house to her. So, and I wasn't really sure what I was really going to do if I actually wanted to extend that opportunity again because of what happened the first time. So my whole thing is, when she came back down, she came back down. So at this point, I didn't even want to be bothered with her. But what was the turning point for me with her coming down here was that when I was talking to my mom was telling me how, she's, really going through it down there or whatever, to the point where she's, suicidal and she's ready to harm herself and the kids. So at this point, like, I'm not going to even lie, that kind of shook me up a little bit because that's not something that I want to go through. And I wasn't taking no chances with, experiencing something like that, especially if, God forbid, she was to go ahead and really do something like that. Like, so I didn't want to experience that because to me that would be I just didn't want to experience that. You see how that sound? Like, who would want to experience that? So at that point, my heart did soften up for her. My heart did soften up for her. So when she came down here, we started talking a little bit. And before she actually came down here, we was actually talking on the phone. We started connecting on the phone. So that's when she started telling us what was going on, the real truth. Like, this time she's actually done this, that, and the third. So, and I actually felt bad. Like, I'm not going to even lie. Like, I actually kind of felt bad this time. Like, and I just kind of wanted to be there for her, but I wasn't really sure about her so much living with me. I was still up in the air with that part, but I was willing to help her with everything else. So, fast forward a little bit. So this is the part where one of my cousins did sit over there and drive to Georgia to go and get her. And when we were on the phone talking before he even got down there or whatever the case may be, me and my sister was on the phone and she was telling me how her boyfriend at the time sat over there and basically, I guess would say little smart stuff or whatever. And he basically threw $100 in her face and, and then basically take it back. And I just felt like that was a little degrading. So I basically telling my sister, like, F that. You don't need the $100 from him. So I basically cash app my sister $100 and was like, don't worry about it. Use that money to feed your kids and, to come down here. Don't worry about it. I also gave my cousin $300 to, to contribute to the traveling expenses, whatever he wanted to use that for, to go and get my sister. And mind you, we're not even on the best of terms, even at this point. But, I would rather be safe than sorry. So I gave the money to my cousin to get my sister. Like, I didn't like the situation my sister was in, so I definitely did cash app her $100 so that she can at least feed her kids, and be okay while traveling here. And then, so this was like, she got here like on a Wednesday. I believe Christmas was like on a Friday, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, or whatever the case may be. She got here literally a couple days before Christmas. Now, during Christmas, me and my baby sister and mom, we already had Christmas planned out, that we was having Christmas over my baby sister's house. So I done already helped contribute getting my nephews their gifts. Now, mind you, Christmas was already set and established and planned out at my baby sister's house. Her kids, my middle sister kids coming down, she had 4 kids with her that was coming down. So she was not able to do anything for them. Like, my sister basically came down here with basically next to nothing. So she was literally starting all over. And so I did not want, so meaning that my baby sister agreed to Christmas being, allowing my sister to spend Christmas with us with her kids. I didn't want my nieces and nephew to not have any gifts, because I know that my other 2 nephews, when, Christmas was already set for them, they had about like 8 or 9 gifts a piece or something like that. So, Christmas was really, really good for them that year, I must say. So they was established with, they got everything that they wanted. So I didn't want my middle sister's kids, to be sitting there watching my baby sister's kids open up the gifts and not having nothing. So me being the person that I am, well, I'm gonna go out and at least give my nieces and nephews a Christmas. So that night, I will never forget, it was literally like the coldest winter ever. Like, I was on the phone with my husband, and, he really didn't like the idea of me being out late, because I was like, kind of late shopping, making sure I get my sister's kids gifts. And I was actually adamant about getting my sister's kids gifts, because I did not want them to spend, I did not want them to have absolutely nothing for Christmas. So I'm just out there giving them gifts. Mind these, I don't have no kids, okay? So I don't have no kids, but I'm out here Christmas shopping for 4 kids. And with these 4 kids, that's my sisters, I wanted them to have like 7 or 8 gifts apiece. Like, I wanted them to have a really, really good Christmas, because that's just how I am. Like, I just, doing it for the kids. Like, they deserve this. This is their first Christmas. I know they're going to be happy. I know that they're going to enjoy this. Like, I'm thinking this is about to be a good celebration. My sister's in town. Maybe, things will get better. So this is the type of time that I'm on. So I'm out talking to my husband. Snot nose just coming down, freezing up, everything. Like, it was so cold outside. It was so cold. But I was adamant about getting my nieces and nephew some Christmas gifts, and them not, them actually having a really, really good Christmas. And not
not even just that, because I know that my sister, was going through a lot. I wanted to even make her feel special as well. So I knew that she would like exercising, doing yoga and stuff like that. So I went and brought her like a yoga mat, a water bottle, weights. I brought her like some Bath and Body Works stuff, so that she smelled good. I know she was telling me something about her boyfriend like through her portable speaker or whatever, because she like listening to music. So I went and brought her like a portable speaker. Like basically, I try to buy her things that would actually make her feel good. So I'm just like, we're gonna all have a good Christmas. I don't want nothing back in return other than we all just have a good time as a family, because this was like the first year since we probably was kids living with our mom and dad. This probably was like our first Christmas together, and it's been years. So I was low-key excited. I'm not gonna even lie. Like, I was low-key excited. So, me getting these gifts for everybody, like, I'm like, yes. So, okay, so Christmas Eve is here. Everybody's excited. Everybody's getting along, this, that, and the third. So we all go to my sister's house or whatever, my baby sister's house. So we are there, all of us, the kids, doing anything, having a good time. And, all of us sisters, mom and stuff is like all talking and stuff. So then my middle sister began to talk about her situation with, with her boyfriend and stuff like that, of how things got bad and him being abusive, this, that, and the third to her. And, she started talking about how, like, he wouldn't, how you have like your state ID, you're supposed to register your state ID every few years or whatever. Like, she wasn't able to register her ID. She wasn't able to get her food stamps or something. Like, he wouldn't take her to get that renewed. He wouldn't take her to renew her license. Like, just do things that you're supposed to do as an adult, or whatever. Like, she was just saying, like, he basically was not giving her the ability to do any of that. He basically was making life hard for her in that type of sense. And me being the person that I am, like, we're basically having a simple conversation. And it's like, I get that he might have been abusive. He might have been this, he might have been that, this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, you're still a mother, you're still a woman, so you still have to do for yourself. Like, you can't be sitting here knowing, if you see a man treating you like that, you can't be 100% dependent on him. Like, it's really not his fault that you could not renew your ID. Like, at the end of the day, that's your responsibility. That's not really his responsibility. Like, you sitting here not being able to renew your food stamps and stuff like that, that's really not his responsibility. Like, you're a mom at the end of the day. Like, you got kids to feed, so it's your job to make sure you have food on the table, this, that, and the third. Yo, why did I even say that? When I said that, all hell broke loose. You would have sat here and thought I cursed my sister out. You would have thought I sat over there and said, I don't even know. All hell broke loose. And at this time, I'm at this point, like, because when I sat over here and said that, she was like, oh, so you're sitting here saying it was okay for him to put his effing hands on me? It's okay for him to abuse me and to do this and that to me? And it's like, no. I'm not saying that part. Like, that part is not what I'm saying at all. All I'm just saying is that it's not his responsibility for you to renew your license and for you to sit here and renew your food stamps and all that you have to do. You're a mom at the end of the day. You're a woman. You still got to provide and do. If he's not doing, that's all I'm sitting here saying. Like, you have to take accountability for that part. I'm not saying take accountability for him putting his hands on you. Well, you're sitting. I mean, when I sat over here and said she went off, see, this is why I don't like talking. You're always judging me. You're always sitting here thinking you know it all, and you always got something to say. When I say all hell broke loose, y'all, all hell broke loose. Like, I mean, I was better off not even saying nothing. Like, I was better off not even saying nothing. And I'm sitting over here trying to, like, not let it go like this, because now at this point, like, I already see what type of time she's on. I'm not really with trying to take it there. It's Christmas. I'm not trying to ruin nobody's Christmas. I'm not even trying to ruin my Christmas. So I'm just like, yo, chill out. Like, middle sister, that is not what I'm sitting here saying at all. Like, you are really, like, taking this out of context. You're misunderstanding exactly what I'm saying. And she's like, I understand exactly what you're saying. You're sitting over here trying to say that it's okay for this man to put his mother effing hands on me and blah. Y'all. And it's like, and it's just me and her going at it. I'm sitting here literally trying not to take it there, even though now at this point, my blood is boiling. I'm ready to knock her upside her head, because why are you doing this? It's really not that serious. It's really not that serious. Now, mind you, Christmas was already set and established. So she's going off. I'm at a point where I'm just keeping it chill. Like, I'm not even going to go off. I'm not going to even take it there at this point. Like, I just get quiet. I just let her have it. It's like, whatever. I'm not about to take it there with her, right? So at this point, I don't even say nothing to her, because I feel like at this point, everything that I say, she always get very, very defensive over it for whatever reason. Like, she's still on that type of time. So let me actually rewind this a little bit, because before that, with her, actually, before she was coming down, I was actually second guessing myself if she should even live with me, because I'm just like, because with her coming down here, it's like, where is she going to live? Because she can only stay with my mom for 2 weeks, because my mom lived in a senior citizen apartment where you can only stay with my mom for up to 2 weeks, but it's not a place that you can actually live there. So that was actually not an option. So everybody kind of low-key was looking at me because that was what she was supposed to do the very first time. And because of how things happened the first time with her supposed to live with me, I'm thinking, at this point, I'm really not too sure. So now at this point, like I'm asking, I'm just getting like second opinions because it's like I want to, but it's like I don't want to regret it. But I feel like it could be a possibility that I may regret it. So it's just like, but at the same time, I don't even want to see her out on the street or anything like that because she's up here. Like, where's she going to go? Like, literally, where's she going to go? And so I'm talking to certain people, getting their certain opinions or whatever. And so pretty much everybody was like, nah, don't let her live with you, right? I ain't going to call nobody out, but, it's few people more than once. And then, and I definitely had a conversation with my mom that, she's not going to be staying with me. She's not going to be, no, as a matter of fact, we didn't have this conversation yet. So hold that thought because Christmas was definitely the deciding factor. So before Christmas, I was just kind of up in the air with it and just getting, hey, I asked like, what you think? And everybody was like, no. So now here we are, Christmas. She's yelling at me like this. So now in my head, it's like, absolutely not. She's not sitting over there staying with me. Clearly, we're not going to get along. We're not going to see eye to eye. I can't even sit here and express the fact that I can't even sit here and say, well, it's your responsibility to get your license renewed and it's your responsibility to renew your own food stamps or whatever the process of that is. Like, that's your responsibility. If I couldn't sit over there and say that part, no way is she living with me. But anyway, so she's over there yelling. Now we're not talking or whatever. We're just silent. I don't have no words for her. So, we're waiting for the kids to go to sleep. The kids finally go to sleep. So I noticed that me and my baby sister is basically at the table wrapping up her kids' gifts, my middle sister's kids' gifts. Not one time did my middle sister ever get up to like see what I brought her kids. Like, she didn't even get up to even try to wrap, offer a hand and helping. Like, absolutely nothing. My middle sister just basically stayed on the couch as if she didn't even have no kids, as if she didn't even have no responsibilities whatsoever. Just laid up on the couch, texting whoever she's texting and talking to whoever she's talking. It's like she didn't even have a care in the world. So while we are wrapping her kids' gifts, mind you. So, of course, at this point, nobody says nothing. So at this point, my mom is actually asleep with the kids. My mom went to bed. The kids are now sleeping. So, it's just me and basically my two sisters downstairs. So I say the simple, my sister basically goes out to, my middle sister basically goes out to my baby sister's like sunroom or whatever. And, she's on the phone. So I'm talking to my baby sister, like whispering like, yo, she got to sit here and wrap her own kids' gifts. Because what does she think this is? Like, I brought them. The least she can do is wrap them. So I was like, I'm going to go and say something to her because we should not have to wrap all these gifts by ourselves. Mind you, these kids got like 7 and 8. I mean, maybe, 7 to 8, maybe 7 gifts apiece. That's a lot of wrapping to do for 4 kids that got 7 gifts apiece, right? So I goes on a porch on where she was at. And I'm just like, I said her name. And so I was like, well, could you come in here and help us wrap your kids' gifts? She looked at me with the nastiest face, the nastiest tone that you can muster up to somebody. She sat over there and said to me, I don't have to wrap nothing. I didn't ask you to buy my kids anything. I don't care what you do with those gifts. You can take them back to the store. I don't care. I never asked for them. Y'all, I really had to do a woosah moment because I said to myself, I know this girl who don't got a pot to piss in, nor throw it out. And if she could sit over there and run out that window, she couldn't even catch it. I know daggone well somebody who couldn't do absolutely nothing, don't got nothing, is sitting in my face having the audacity to act like this. When it's bad enough, it's okay that you couldn't do nothing for your kids. It's okay that me and you go through what we go through, but you cannot even be grateful and thankful that somebody even thought of your kids in this way to do something for them that you could not do for them, even if you wanted to. All because you're mad because I told you that it's your responsibility as a woman to renew your own stuff. You sitting over here depending on a man, blaming it on a man, making it his fault why you didn't renew your stuff and the stuff is in your name and not his. It took everything in me. Like, at this point, like, when she sat over there and said that, like, my baby sister did not say a word. Like, my baby sister knew that I was mad. I was ready to go off. And it took everything in me to hold myself together because I was definitely ready to ruin Christmas. You hear what I'm saying? I was ready to ruin all of Christmas at that point. But, my baby sister seen that I was mad and upset. And not one time did my baby sister said anything to my middle sister at all. And the thing is, I didn't need my baby sister to have my back. You ain't got to fight my battles. But what you just witnessed was beyond effed up. You as a mom, you as my sister, you as a girl that's supposed to be my ride or die chick, why didn't you at least think that it would, why did you ever think that it would be okay to just sit quiet? You ain't have to sit here and tell Sierra off. You ain't have to sit here. Oh, I ain't mean to say her name. You don't have to sit here and take it there with our sister. You don't have to sit here and basically take it that far. You don't got to start an argument with her. But what you witnessed was so wrong. Like, why would you not say anything? And you supposed to ride with me, ride for me. Like, you supposed to be my, what I thought was, even though we were sisters, like we was, best friends. Like that's how you allow people to treat your best friends up in your house. Like at the end of the day, we at your house. Like, because I could definitely handle mine. But if I handle it the way I want to, I'm definitely going to jail. Okay, so the whole situation happened with Christmas or whatever. Nobody really stood up for what's right when it came to my middle sister, and for that reason, that alone was a trigger for me. Only for the simple fact because this is what's been going on for years. That like I said in the beginning of my video, it's always looked at as me and her is always arguing about something, and it's always like petty stuff. But when you look at the context of what's happening, it's not petty stuff. And here we are again with something happening, and it's just being looked at as not that big of a deal. Y'all will just get over it. And it's like, do you see what happened? Like, do you see the context of what happened? And it's like, nobody have nothing to say. Nobody have nothing to say. No mom, no baby sister have nothing to say to my middle sister. Like, what she did was fine. What she did was cool. Like, that's okay. Like, that's okay to be treating people like that. When you ain't got a pot to piss in nor throw it out. Like, that's okay to treat people like that. And at this point in my journey, like, I just was tired because I've been dealing with this for years and years, like pretty much all my life with, me and my middle sister just gets away with just being how she is, and no one ever corrects her. No one ever corrects her. Like, my mom don't say nothing, my baby sister don't say nothing. And for me, this is a problem at this point in my journey because every time I sit here and try to stand up for myself, I'm always being told with this whole Christmas situation and everything that y'all have heard of, like, I'm always told to get over it. I'm always holding on to stuff. I'm always this and I'm always that. You're so stubborn. You got an attitude. You this and this and that. It's like I'm not allowed to have feelings for feeling how I feel about stuff. Like I'm just supposed to get over it. Like because it's not that big of a deal because it's old. And the thing is, 9 times out of 10, it really be about the principle. It really be about the person's character. You can't change people for who they are. People are going to be people. People are going to do what they do. They're going to move how they move. So me sitting here talking to you about something, that's just giving you an opportunity to put a mask on and fake the front. Like you're not, fake the front. Like you're something that you're not. So in this moment, I just feel like I'm in my journey, right? I've been really sitting back, seeing stuff, keeping stuff to myself, taking mental notes of how I'm actually being treated, how I'm being talked to, how I'm actually being poured into, how I'm being invested into. So when it comes to my baby sister, at this point, like this whole Christmas situation, like that was like the last straw for me. But not only was that the last straw for me, I've also been taking mental notes for some time now about, my baby sister really doesn't invest into our sisterhood as much as I invest into our sisterhood mentally, emotionally. No quality time, no nothing. It's like, it just feels like I'm overextending myself and doing all this and not getting anything in return. And I feel like, not that it's expected out of me, but it's like, what type of person I am. So you already know how I'm riding. So it's easy for you to take that for granted or whatever. But not even just that. At this point during Christmas, I just felt like, not only that you don't even know how to stand up for what's right or wrong. You can't even stand up for what's right or wrong, but you don't even invest into our sisterhood like that either. So it's like, what am I really holding on to at this point? So that's the point that I had gotten to. And then when it came to my mom, like my mom's always telling me to get over stuff and, stop being a certain way. And, I'm sitting over here trying to hold my boundaries and keep my boundaries. And she's sitting over here trying to knock them. Like, I'm sitting over here trying to be who I am, walk into my whole essence of a woman, be who I am, and this, that, and the third. But, it's starting to feel like too much for her or too much for me because every time I turn around, she's always saying little slick stuff. She's always saying little shady stuff. She's always throwing shade. She was always staring at stuff. Like, the looks. I would see the looks. When she would drink, she would sit here and really speak her mind and say some nasty stuff that she would never say when she's sober. Like, yeah, but like I said, so all this stuff has been added up. And then Christmas happens. So with that being said, I decided to take a step back from my family because I needed to reassess myself with this whole family dynamic and what has been going on. Like, I understand the situation that's been going on with me and my middle sister, but now I'm seeing things with my baby sister that I can no longer avoid anymore. I am seeing things with my mother that I can no longer avoid anymore. Like, it's not working for me. It's not working. Like, who they are, how they think, what they do, certain things are not okay. Like, so it's one thing to not have my back when my baby sister fine. My baby sister, not having a backbone, sticking up for what's right or what's right or wrong. But then you're not even investing into our sisterhood like that, where the relationship feels one-sided. And then my mom, like, I'm developing to my whole essence of a woman. Mind you, I was raised to be a leader, to think for myself. Like, it was a sin to be a follower. Like, it was a sin to not have confidence. Like, my dad was like big on that. Like, he didn't play about that, and keeping yourself nice and neat and clean. Like, he didn't play about that as a woman. You holding yourself up to a higher standard. Like, he didn't play about that. So me as a woman growing into that, I felt like that became a problem with my mom for some odd reason. Like, things just wasn't right. So after the whole Christmas situation, I really had to take a step back, and I had to reassess myself in the situation. And when I sat over there and took a step back, like, it's not things that's now at this point, it's not about situations anymore and what has happened. It's about y'all character. It's about who y'all are as people. Like, that is not aligned with who I am. It never really was aligned with who I really am. Like, if we had to be real, it was never aligned with who I really am. I realized at that point just how different I was. I'm very different. I feel like at that Christmas situation made me realize that I no longer fit into that family dynamic anymore. Like, I was kidding myself to think that I belong. I never belong. I was actually shrinking myself and making myself fit in a dynamic that from the bottom of my heart did not feel right. But because they hold these titles and this is who I grew up with, I thought that that was the right thing. I thought I had to, deal with that and settle for that, because that's the only thing that I know. When you're taught that family is everything and blood is thicker than water, this, that, and the third. But then, the blood don't be blooding like how it's supposed to. It's not filtering right. The blood is not filtering right. Like, it's really not filtering right. Like, I don't fit in. Like, I already know mentally, emotionally, spiritually, I've already disconnected. If I had to be honest, I was just physically there at this point. And this whole Christmas thing made me realize, and I had to take a step back. And because I had to take a step back, this was the downfall of me and my baby sister's relationship.